Oh my goodness, I'm a bit itchy. Oh, that's better. Hello. Welcome to my 21st Spelunky Daily challenge. I've done 10 topics that were very personal topics to me, so I can now move on to something else. And I don't know what that is yet, or what the thread will be. I do know what video number 21 is going to be. It might just be like the first 10 that I did, which could be things that are interesting to me. No one's played yet today. That's shortly after I actually recorded the other Spelunky Daily challenge for the previous day, which is interesting. It's not very interesting. I've actually had a bit of a break. I haven't just immediately done this, but let's do today's daily challenge, see how it goes. Today's topic is a person who didn't quite fit in the category of being really influential on me because I don't know enough about them. But they are someone who interests me a lot, and someone who I've had a few different opinions of over time, and that person is the politician and philosopher and writer Thomas Jefferson, who is someone who you could write and say probably a great deal about, and I'll see how I do doing that for the next however many minutes. Have a quick scan up there. No, okay, let's go, let's carry on. Probably if you're American, you likely actually know a lot about Thomas Jefferson, because he was the third president of the United States after Washington and Adams. He's widely regarded as one of the best and one of the most sort of enduring in his fame and the respect that people have for him. So you can find him carved into Mount Rushmore, for example. And lots of things are named after him. So certainly Americans are very familiar with him. I wasn't. He actually never came up when I did my philosophy course. Oops, okay, so that didn't hurt him. Where's the dog? Have I missed the dog? Can I not get to the dog? I don't care. Gonna have the dogless time. But no, he was someone who I read about in places, and who it's difficult to avoid, I guess, if you're someone like me and you're interested in the stuff that I'm interested in, which is all sorts of nonsense. He would come up a lot, but he actually never came up in studies or in history or anything for me, which is a shame, because he's interesting in all sorts of ways. I can't tell you when he was born, I'm afraid, offhand. I don't know when Thomas Jefferson first existed, but it was in something like 1730, I don't know. I'm just trying to work out what I'm doing on this level. Oh, no. Let's go back to the shop. And he lived to about, I think, 83, which is, nowadays, it's quite old. In those days, that's bloody amazing for anyone to exist for that long. And he died on the 4th of July, as some people know, along with John Adams, who also died on the same 4th of July. And it turns out that the 4th of July is actually the most dangerous day for American presidents. More American presidents have died on the 4th of July than any other day. That flying bug is not coming back, is it? And some would say that's the price of freedom. I wouldn't, because that would be silly. And I don't know if I can make this drop. Yeah, I can. It's fine. It's fine. And he did a lot of different things. Let's see if I can touch on some of the interesting things he did in his life, or just get killed by a bat twice. I don't think that should have done 2 hits worth. One of the things that I really like about Thomas Jefferson is he read a lot, and he very much advocated reading. He was quite a polymath kind of person, which is also something that I think is very cool. I can't see what's over there. Hopefully it's nothing important. Hopefully I'm not missing anything really important. And among the many things that he did was play musical instruments, I think mainly the violin. Obviously he was interested in politics and philosophy. He eventually became a lawyer, I think, and he designed his own home, Monticello, in Virginia, and he learnt how to be an architect from a book, and actually did quite a good job, or I say from a book, probably from books. Really need to get a dog to lick me. He's looking quite desperate. And he seemed to do a really good seemed to do a really good job of it. He collected books throughout his entire life, and bought them or collected them off other people, to the point where at some point, could be almost in trouble there. He had thousands and thousands, and I think when the Library of Congress, or one of the major American libraries, was damaged, he donated them a bunch of books, as in really quite a substantial amount of books. And that was just a thing that he did through his entire life. He just had a problem with books. He couldn't stop collecting them, which, you know, as things go, is not a terrible problem to have, I suppose. Get worried about that snake there, and we're fine, except for the spider. And that's probably just got that dog killed. I do want to get rid of this. Okay, I want to get rid of the snake because I want to go back and do something. What do I want to go back and do? Have I got something there to collect? I can't even remember why I need to go back there now. This is a problem I have in Spelunky while talking about things. Yeah, Thomas Jefferson was, I think, born into a family... Oh yeah, the key. Born into a family that was doing fairly well, I think, and he certainly inherited a plantation, I think, when his parents died. And then when he married Martha, he inherited her father's plantation when he died. So I don't think he was massively rich, but he certainly came into some things. He did very well in his education, which probably helped set him off on the polymath, on the Plymouth track to being a kind of a Renaissance man, and became, probably through reading a lot, became a very accomplished writer, and became a very apparently very capable musician, and a good lawyer. No, let's go and get the gun. Let's quickly get the gun. Okay, don't get the gun. Just don't get the gun. It's fine. I didn't want the gun anyway. Just get stuck in a web. Just having a great time. Right. No, just... Don't be a skeleton. Good. Okay, what am I doing here? And I don't remember what it was that made him basically a famous founding father, or got him into... got people's attention. He wrote something in about 1774 about the rights of British Americans, or, you know, the British, America being a British colony, the rights of the people that lived there. And I think that was read, and possibly the circulation of that got him noticed by people. I don't know. But eventually he ended up being one of those, and I don't know what the name of this is, whatever congressional delegation thing was, where, you know, everyone got together and went, what are we going to do? Britain's being really mean to us, and we don't have very many rights, and we're having a rubbish time. That's what the body did. They got together, and he was one of those delegates, and he turned up and I think impressed everyone with his lawyer's intelligence, and eventually ended up drafting the Declaration of Independence, as probably all Americans know, and being, I think, really the chief architect of that, even though Franklin and Adams all were involved in it. And certainly whenever you write anything, it always helps to have other people suggest changes and improvements and edits, but I think a large portion of it was his work. One of the immediately interesting things about him, and I guess compromises he had to make, appears in that declaration, or didn't appear in that declaration, in order for, what am I doing? I need to get the dog. Can I get the dog? Let's get the dog from below. How am I going to do this? Like that, probably. Probably like that. Sacrifice some people, like that Elton John song. Yeah, got me in good favour. Jefferson was opposed to slavery. But the problem he ran into was, oh good, thanks for that, helps, when trying to put a Declaration of Independence together and talking about people being created equal, was he risked alienating states like the Carolinas, which made a lot of money, or basically their economy largely depended on slavery. If America was about to say, hey, look, we're going to get together and be our own independent thing, how am I going to jump over the ghost? I'll have to do it here. This could actually be the end of me already, because I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. And yeah, because of the thing, I had to bump into it. I just bumped into the thing above me. This is a rubbish playthrough, because I could easily have avoided that. And I was already thinking about getting the crate. So that was certainly a compromise that he made. $60,000 is awful for me. This is awful, and the last one was awful, and I'm actually quite despondent about some of these playthroughs, and I'm quite serious in saying that. He had to compromise by not mentioning that, although he was arguably also a racialist who did believe that different races of people were starkly different. During his presidency, he wasn't very sympathetic to Native Americans, and I believe in his, well, I don't know, his attitudes may have changed as he aged. During his earlier writings, he definitely believed that that people who weren't white had different qualities, and I think basically he was saying were not as good or not as intelligent, or unfortunately many of those views that people of the time held. And I believe he fathered a child later with one of his slaves later in life, which might suggest that he changed his opinion, although there is certainly a treatise or an essay online you can read about the idea of Thomas Jefferson basically being a rapist, because when someone is your slave, they're not really in a position to consent to having relations with you, whatever that may be. There you go. There's lots more, West Point, Louisiana Purchase. Wife dies, just lock yourself in a room and walk around the room for ages, and then ride your horse by yourself for ages if your wife dies. It's a thing you could do. Probably not. I don't know why I've just said that. I mean, you could, really. I don't have a wife. And what I just do is lock myself in my room and walk around anyway, in the hope that one day I might be also an intelligent person with a lot of books who writes something useful and wears a wig. So, this is, probably not quite as passionate about this as I was about Ursula Le Guin, huh? Interesting guy, would have loved to have met him. And I don't know exactly where I sit on the moral spectrum compared to him. Very keen on revolution. Anyway, bye.